So we got a 2007 Yamaha YFZ450. You see it does have the paddles on it, the full set. This is pretty much how it came, how I bought it. But it did come with brand new front tires on wheels. So you see it looks pretty nice. I believe it is a special edition, because the special edition had these kind of flames on it. Let's see. It's got the adjustable front suspension. It's got the aftermarket LED front light. The dude said he rebuilt the water pump with all new impeller and the seal, but he said it was leaking from the weep hole. So he was thinking that he probably put the seal on backwards, because he said it was all brand new. But he said he also put a brand new radiator and I believe brand new brakes. Yeah, you see he has brand new pads and rotor. He did say he put a new exhaust on it, pro circuit, and he's got new bolts and stuff for the header, and he went ahead and heat wrapped it. Let's see, he did say he put a new carburetor on it. I forget what brand carburetor. He said it wasn't the cheap one, and he put this fuel filter on there. I forget what brand he said it was. I don't know, it very well could be a cheap one. But when I test drove it, it didn't really want to run right. It kind of looks like a cheap one. But you can see there's sand residue, because he said he took it to the dunes. He said it ran pretty well for him. You see all the sand on it. But he'll show me photos and stuff. He took it to the dunes. He needs the upper roller here and the lower roller as well. We can check the oil. Yeah, you gotta run these for it to circulate and show on the dipstick. So we'll do that. Hopefully the battery is not dead. It's got pro taper bars, pro taper grip handles. Looks like a new lever for the clutch. A little bit dirty. It's been sitting for a little bit. It's got the Tusk rear grab bar. I think it was a stock front bumper. Yeah, stock front bumper. Let's check underneath the seat. Yeah, I think he said he put a new battery in it, but I forget. But there's no clips for the airbox. That's nice. It's got the pre-filter. Looks like on a K&N. So that's nice. Yeah, carburetor looks brand new, but I think it might be the cheap one. It's got all mismatched bolts for the airbox. So let's see if it'll start. Might need a jumper on it. It does have neutral and it's lighting up pretty good. I believe the gas is on already. Yeah. We'll try without choke and see if it starts. Hit the accelerator for the accelerator pump. See what happens. Yeah, that was without choke. Let's go ahead and roll the choke. check the oil real quick, just to make sure we're not low. Yeah, see, it came up on the dipstick and the oil's very new, so. Oh yeah, and I picked this thing up for, it was $2,300. But it came with the paddles and stuff, and it came with the, I think it came with the OEM carburetor and other parts in the box. So, it came with a few things. But let's go ahead and keep it running. Starts up pretty good. Yeah, it runs pretty good. It just kind of hiccups a little bit when it wants to rev out. The idle's fine, but you see it's leaking right now. That's why I didn't want to run it too long, but it's leaking pretty bad out the weep hole. Where is it at? Yeah, it was leaking. You can see it's all right there, all pretty wet. But let's see, just to verify. Yeah, see, it's leaking pretty good, but it starts up really nice. Maybe it's a jetting on the, I'm thinking it's the jetting and the carburetor. But what I want to do first is get that leak to stop. So I did buy the new seal, OEM Yamaha. So we'll see if it's on backwards. So we'll have to drain it and put new coolant in it afterwards. So let's go and get that water pump cover off, get the impeller off, because we can look at the seal. So the oil seal behind that first seal is not leaking because it's not making the oil milky. So that's a good sign. Also, it was the right headlight that I stole the bulb from, so I have to get a bulb for that. And I do have a set of rear wheels, but I gotta buy tires. So just so I can take this setup off so I can run it on a regular all-terrain setup. But it looks pretty good for the most part. It starts up super easy. So we'll get that water pump seal taken care of and let's see if you put it on backwards. Okay, so water pump cover's coming off. Let that drain. Cool, looks good. Yeah, he was saying he got a billet impeller too. So let's go ahead and rip that off. Okay. Does look like a new seal. I wonder if there has to be a washer on there. I don't remember if there's a washer behind that or not, but let me look up a diagram and see. Okay, so taking the impeller off, there is supposed to be a little washer that butts up against right here, and then there's a seal. So that seal is actually on backwards, like the dude was saying that he probably did, because it was leaking profusely, really bad. But there's like an open end and closed end, a flat end. This is the flat end on this side, and the other end is a little bit open, and the open end is supposed to be facing outwards, and the flat end is supposed to be inwards. So that is on the opposite way. So I gotta get a self-tap, screw it in there, pull it out, get my new seal in, and then find a washer for the back of the impeller, and then we should be golden to put it back together. So let's go ahead and get that self-tap put in and pull her out. Let's see if this works. Going in. I won't go in too far and hit the other seal. So I'm gonna grab some pliers and hopefully pull it right out. Guess I need to go a little bit further. There we go. Boom. Sucks because that is a new seal. But you can see I didn't hit the shaft with the screw on the inside, and I barely went through the flat side there, so it didn't hit the surface where that seal sits on. So that's how you do it. Pretty easy. Now let's get the new seal. Here's the new seal. Brand new OEM Yamaha. I usually don't look out on seals and get cheap seals, so I don't have to do this. I don't want to have to do this a second time. But so, opened in, facing out, and just look at the shaft. Make sure there's no marks on it, because that'll cause it to leak too, even if you have a new seal. So, it all looks pretty good on there. It already has grease already on the inside, so you don't have to worry about putting grease on it, but should just be able to push it on by hand. Goes right over it. Just give it a few taps. Yeah, she's all the way in. She's all the way in from the get-go. So you can mostly just do it by hand. So all new seals in. Let's get the impeller back on. And I was actually able to find a washer, so that's supposed to sit behind it, like right here, up against here. that. This screws on. Hit it with a couple of Ugga-Duggas. Okay. Looks good. Now, I did put the washer on there, and it's probably gonna, impeller's sticking out a little further, so I'm just gonna crank it a couple times, see if it's even grinding against the cover. Yeah, we're good. It was just missing that. It was just missing that washer. Anyways, it's all back together. Let's throw some coolant in there. I'm gonna give her a start. No more coolant leaks now. Because at this point we can just button it all up, get new bolts for the plastic pieces there, and put it back together. Got the plastics all buttoned up together. Now I just want to get the sand tire set up. I'm taking off of it, so I do have the front wheels and tires that came with it, which are these right here. So I got two pretty much new tires that haven't been mounted for a while. They're not really new, but the tread is like new. But yeah, I want to throw those on the front. And I also got wheels that I had laying around for a Yamaha. So it's a 9 by 8.5 Yamaha wheel. So that's gonna fit in the back. So I can just take these off. So I do have tires already to put on the rims, and I'll show you how to put those on and get those mounted. Get the front jacked up and take the wheels off. Could be aired up a little bit, but fronts are on. Let's go ahead and get the rears done. But before I take off the wheels, I guess I'm gonna mount the tires. These are the tires I got. You already know how to get the cheap ones. You know, straight from eBay, so you know where they're coming from. That's right. Whatever the motus. So 4-ply tires, 20 by 10 by 9, should fit right up with these wheels here. So what you're gonna see, they're not directional, I don't believe, So I'm gonna fight these and put these things on. See how smooth it goes. Not too bad with tire spoons. That'll work. There's also a different method. There's also another method when seating the bead, which involves fire. So. Like that. That's how she's sitting now. Brand new rears and like new tread in the front. So looks pretty good. Looks about right. Got about 10 psi in the rear tires. You know, I can go down to 8 if I want, but yeah, it looks pretty good. So I do have to order up the headlight bulb for this side, the left side, and I do have to order up the chain rollers, front or upper and lower, and I think that's really it. But yeah, that's one of the main things I wanted to do is fix that leak on the oil pump, or fix that leak on the water pump, and then, you know, swap out the sand tires for the all-terrains. So I'll probably give her a quick whirl, maybe around the yard, and see how she runs. She's boggy or not. She kind of feels like it is, but we'll see. Yeah, so I just took her around the yard, and she is for sure boggy. I don't know if the jets are not spot on with the exhaust, you know, not jetted for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that carburetor off and look at the jets, because it's barely rideable. So I'm gonna get the carburetor out, see what it's looking like. Got the carburetor off. We're gonna check out these jets. Already got the bolts or screws loose. and the fuel screw out. This is about 2.5 turns out. So that's roughly in the right range. Around 2 to 3 is where you want it. If you have to go more or less, then your jets are wrong. So just see if it was dirty, see if anything was clogged, and check the jet sizes. I really think this carburetor is like the cheap Amazon one. I forget what brand he was saying that it was, but he was saying it was a good one. And just the way it looks, just looks like one of those cheap ones. So we're gonna see what's going on inside. Looks super clean inside. Looks pretty much brand new. All the jets and everything. This is yellow though. Usually it's like a tan. But wasn't leaking any fuel, so the needle's probably fine. But I do want to get these jets out and see what kind they are. So we got a 170 main. Might have to go up on the main a little bit. But I'm not even sure if I have bigger jets. But we're gonna see. So we're gonna take these jets out and see what's going on. Here is the Pilot 48. That's good. With a 72. At least I know that cheap Amazon cars don't have numbers on the jets, so at least it has actual jets sizes on them. But I'm thinking it's the main that we need a bigger one on, because it idles and revs good. You know, right off the throttle, it's good, but when you get into the mid-range and up, that's when it's boggy. So I think we need more fuel. Yep, fuel is in there. All this looks brand new. Yeah, super clean. Should I put that back, still have the seals? We're good on that. So, let me see if I got any bigger mains than a 170. This is the 170 main. I've got a 180 and I think a 185. I think I'm gonna try the 180. First, but I'm also gonna check the clip position. So let's see what that's looking like. Right, we got that. So this went on like this. This on top. We're on the 4th notch from the top. 4th notch, yeah, we're right in the middle. Right in the middle on there. I think that's pretty good. So, put that back. So we'll see if this fixes it. I'm gonna get it all back together and put it back on the quad. Then we'll give it a start and see what it does. I stuck the 180 main in the carburetor and got it all back in. And she runs a hell of a lot better. I also had to adjust its throttle cable. And we're about 3 turns on the fuel screw. So, starts right up easy. Revs out good. But I did find one more leak. Right there. So looks like I gotta drain the coolant once again. So, fixed a couple things, and another one shows up. I didn't catch that one. But yeah, also got to order up, you know, the rollers. So that'd be the last thing with this. After I order up the headlight bulb too, and this one should be good to go. I'll clean her up once I get everything, and this one should be rocking. I just want to give it one more start and see. Yeah, she starts up good every time now. Revs out pretty good under load. I took it around the yard. It's way better. But it's a 180 main, 48 pilot, and this thing to do the trick. About 3 turns out on a fuel screw. So this one's all almost ready to rock and roll. Well, after replacing that seal on the water pump, it was sitting for like a day or two, and I turned it back over, and it was running pretty good still, but it started leaking out the weep hole again. So I did hear a squeak coming from it, but I didn't really think anything of it until it started leaking again. So it makes me believe that the bearing inside is shot and causing too much side-to-side play or free play in the shaft. That's where it leaks. It started leaking out a lot, like the seal's on backwards again, but you know it's obviously not. So looks like I gotta order the seal again, and I guess order the bearing for it, and I gotta replace that. So I guess the dude didn't replace the shaft or the bearing when he did the whole water pump assembly. But I'm gonna turn it over and show you all the play, and you can hear the squeakiness. So I'm sure you'll probably be able to hear it, but the squeaky is coming from the water pump, and it was leaking quite a bit. So I guess I'm gonna order up that seal. You know, I thought I was pretty close to being done with this quad, other than it needing the headlights, obviously, and that was pretty much it. You know, the tires are still holding there. It's been a few days, and it still turns over really nice. It's just that squeakiness and the water pump leak. So I'm still waiting for parts. I guess I gotta order up new parts. So this one is almost done, but we did get it running good, and it does drive good now with the carburetor being adjusted. So stay tuned for the next video. I should have parts in. I should be able to clean it up and make it look nice, and move on to the next project. So until then, we're playing the waiting game.